So, ChatGPT. I've been sending screenshots to my LinkedIn and my Twitter feed from it lately. It's actually coming up with some brilliant answers. I notice the hard ones, when I'm asking it a yes or no question, it really errs towards giving me information rather than answering the question. Like when I asked it, is it safe to use LastPass after all these breaches? It basically is like, well, password manager is good to use. LastPass has layers of protection and encryption on user data. But discuss this with your service provider, etc. So that one wasn't so great, but most of the things, like, what are 10 things you should do to improve cybersecurity in 2023? I asked, and it gave me a good list. It's pretty strong on its results. So, ChatGPT, I'm not sure what it's using as a data set, because when I've asked it questions that require live lookup, it doesn't have the data. Or if I ask it current events questions, it doesn't have the data. So, makes me wonder, like, are they offline curating data and then feeding it to it in order to sanitize it so it doesn't get the crazy answers? How does it know the crazy answers? Things like that. Where is it getting its data? How's it curated? What safety measures are in place? Because we're already thinking of how to use ChatGPT. I used it 2 days ago to write code for me. I asked it to write C# code in order to change my Google thermostat temperature from the internet. And it did API calls and stuff like that, and wrote several pages of code. So it's very capable of helping developers code. It's very capable of answering questions and creating content for content writers. So the security implications are the big question. If it writes code, it can obviously write hacks. So what safety measures are in place to keep that from happening? If I can get it to write code for changing a thermometer, then why can't I have it write code to address a vulnerability offensively? It might be helpful for pen testers, but equally helpful for attackers. And I'm sure people are already playing with it. I played with its coding ability, and it was very impressive. Things that would have taken me all day to write, it wrote in 20 seconds. So it's lovely. It makes me want to get into development now in order to take advantage of that. But of course, I'm sure expectations are going to be higher now as a result. Now, keep in mind that this is all being generated from data that it's found. So how to code, it's basically learning this stuff off the internet. But yet it doesn't have a live internet connection, it claims, for data harvesting. So how's it getting its data? Those are my questions. Security implications, I think we have to be really careful about what to do with ChatGPT and what to give it. Why? Okay, so the answers it's giving me already are pretty brilliant. Obviously, I don't think that it has any kind of cognitive ability. It's just a machine learning engine. At least I think. But I think giving it larger data sets of the internet or direct internet access would be interesting to see what the results would be. I'd love to do it as an experiment, an offshoot, just to see what kind of outputs it would give with non-curated data, and then figure out how to build controls into it. Obviously, I wouldn't want to pollute the current project with that. I think a fork of it, and like live GPT or something, would be great. Put it on the net, let it collect everything it wants, and then see what assumptions it comes up with, and see where we need to guide it from a morality point of view, from a offensive answers point of view, because we've seen what happens to like Twitter chatbots, in like a day they become racist dictators, because they're all like watching alt-right, threads, and it just gets bad. So how do we keep ChatGPT from doing the same thing? And when we're in this progression, when we're learning how to use ChatGPT, the sky is the freaking limit right now. I saw somebody using it to do job applications for 190 jobs automatically. I'm already thinking of implications with deepfake and voice recognition, to do voice to text, so it can answer interview questions and things like that. Combining ChatGPT, and it has an API that's accessible with other technologies, is going to be amazing. Yesterday on a podcast, I thought of taking Azure Sentinel and the data that you're collecting there, and it already has Azure Analytics Workspace attached to it, and so it already, Azure already has some AI functionality that you can leverage, and then add ChatGPT to it, and somehow feed that data set from Azure Sentinel to ChatGPT, and then ask it questions about the data set. To me, that is, an option. So this is obviously, we're talking about natural language processing, plus querying capability, and some kind of ability to make correlation and to, learn and think. When I say learn and think, I'm not thinking about consciousness. I'm thinking about, you have this data set. How do you know what's important? Somehow ChatGPT is able to do that. I don't know how it's able to do that, but somehow it's able to do that. You can tell because of the answers it's giving you. If it has a not unlimited but very large data set of internet data or information, posts, whatever, to use as its source information, and you ask it a question, and in less than a second it's already writing a response to you, and it is very intelligent response, and it's not giving you crap answers, then it's obviously able to judge the quality of the data that's coming in, judge what's important out of that data, and feed it back to you. So I think that it's endless possibilities. I just want to plug ChatGPT in everything, feed it my email, and then ask questions about, my email from ChatGPT. ChatGPT, anything important come in the last hour, that kind of thing. So I think where it's really going to get its superpowers is when it gets acquired. Right now, it's burning cash, and they're not monetizing it all. But I think once someone like Google buys it and just builds it into their platform, and it's powered by Google Cloud, if it's not monetized except by ads or something like Google normally does, then really we can use ChatGPT to drive work. And if they make it so that ChatGPT is a part of, pardon my yawning, it's like every constant. I'm like in a constant state of exhaustion. If ChatGPT is protected by Google, then I think it would lend Google to a lot of growth as a company. For instance, like if you get ChatGPT through Google, and your instance of ChatGPT's engine, your API and back end of it is hosted at Google API on Google Cloud Platform, and it kind of behooves you to host some stuff there on GCP if you're going to have it process a lot of data, or else you're paying ingress and out, egress fees at other providers. Usually ingress is free, but egress is not, at AWS and Azure and stuff. So if you're taking large data sets and beaming them over from Azure to Google, Why not just host it in Google? That kind of thing. So I think if Google bought ChatGPT, I think that the sky's the limit as far as Google's growth and as far as what we can do with it. To me, I think, I'm not sure what the investors are. I know it's VC funded right now, but I don't know who's coming to call for ChatGPT. But if I was Google or Microsoft or any of these giants, I would be making offers right now. That's the smart thing for them to do. Buy it now. I'm sure that technology is something that can be replicated by another company. I've already have used Jasper AI and things like that, and those are already good engines for creating content and giving that AI response. ChatGPT is just kind of an extension of that capability, so it is something that could be replicated by another company. But since ChatGPT is already pretty much ready to go, why not? Why not buy them, eliminate that amount of competition that another company could have, and build it into your platform? That's kind of my thought behind it. But yeah, security implication wise, big concern for me is that it's able to answer questions very quickly, process large amounts of data very quickly, build great correlations. It could do the same with stolen data for a threat actor, and then you query it and ask questions about the data. It could do the same about writing code to hack and to gain access to systems, which would just enable further cybercrime. On the positive side, we can use it for the same things: identifying threats, doing threat hunting with ChatGPT, doing log analytics with ChatGPT, doing patching problems with ChatGPT. Like, ChatGPT, make me a patch for the new Fortinet 0-day, and that kind of thing. I think that, it'll help both sides. So will it make a big change in cybersecurity? No, I think it'll help both sides equally. However, I think our lives as we know it are going to change dramatically. It's like Simon Lindsay said yesterday, it's an iPhone moment. It's one of those revolutionary moments when something changes and shifts in technology and now becomes a part of everything we do. The iPhone moment. That's what we're going to see out of this. And those of you who are in cybersec or IT that haven't played with ChatGPT yet, this is probably your future. So pick it up, dude, or dudette. Like, it's AI. I picked up Jasper as soon as I saw it. And now ChatGPT. Like, to me, it's the future is going to be, can you use these tools? Kind of like sysadmins are, if they're smart, learning Kubernetes and containerization, because sysadmins who don't know those are kind of gonna be less relevant in the future. Same thing with ChatGPT and AI capabilities. It behooves you to learn these tech and be able to use them professionally, and learn how to really see the productivity that you can capture through that, as well as think of creative ways to use them. If you can figure out how to use these technologies and use them successfully creatively, whether it's coming up with a new solution to reach out to all the contacts in your CRM with unique messages that are pertinent to their customer profile. Oh my gosh, that implication of ChatGPT and marketing implications of ChatGPT, insane. Those are things that businesses are going to be looking for. So pick up these skills now, because putting that on your resume is actually going to be valuable, and understanding how to use AI to generate content is going to be valuable, and to generate code and to solve business problems is going to be valuable. All right. Thanks, guys.